Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your holiday weekend. Make sure that you share this video, like it on the way in, and subscribe if you haven't already. Tonight's topic is going to be on doxing and the dangers of doxing, as well as we're going to honor for Black History Month, Ruby D, and a couple of little did you knows in between here and there. We'll have our co-host introduce herself, and then we'll get started. Pour up a drink, too. You need it.
Happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I didn't have a taco, but I do have it's 1800 tequila or vodka?
Tequila.
I got it.
I don't know how you do it.
I love 1800. I have it in here with my what is that, Stella?
Oh yeah, I can't. My last episode 1800 made me on the straight and narrow. The last time I had it was probably like almost 10 years ago. And I woke up in a room, I didn't know where I was at or nothing.
So you blaming it on the alcohol?
Yeah, it was. Because I was the person giving out the shots and it was 1800 and everyone was like, oh, will you do a shot with me? And my crazy self was like, all right.
Sure. I did one with everyone.
And I woke up, it was like, where am I? But the girls, it was my ex-friend now. I was in her husband's shoe room, but I had never been in there. So all I seen was like shoes everywhere. And I'm like, where am I at? And then I woke up with her friend next to me too. She was like, bro, where are we at? I said, girl, I don't know. That was it.
You know we live and can't edit that out, right?
I was like, I don't know where we at. I don't know.
Well,
that was my last night drinking that.
Oh my God. Thank God you was safe. Oh my gosh. The only alcohol for me that is completely off the table that I cannot mess with. If it's in a drink, I could probably smell it, is Jose Cuervo.
Oh.
In our 20s, that got me. The last time it got me was when I turned 30. And if you was at my 30th birthday party, you know that.
Yeah, that I'll drink Jose Cuervo, but that stuff is like cheap. I'm not drinking that either. Patron, I won't drink that no more either. I will not even drink a margarita with Patron in it. Like, I don't know how we was drinking that in our 20s. Like,
it tastes like lighter fluid or gas.
Yeah, and I remember when we would go to real Mexican bars and stuff, we would be like, oh, give us a shot of Patron. And I remember this one man was like, do y'all know that that's the worst tequila y'all could be drinking? We was like, really? They was like, they're just pumping that up to y'all because it was popular at that time.
Right.
And he had gave us some girl tastes like straight water. To this day, I don't know what it was because we had drunk so much, girl. You know us.
I wonder if it was Largo.
I don't know, but I know it didn't taste like Patron, like how Patron used to burn and all that. It tastes like water. Like, they always tell us, even now they be saying, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, the tequila that everybody drink now. It's gonna pop in my
1942. That
no, tequila? Not that one. The other one that George Clooney, his tequila.
I don't know. I can't even do Grey Goose no more. We got a
girl, Grey Goose be having my head hurt. I have headaches after Grey Goose. I don't know why.
I don't know why I don't like it. I can't remember what was the last episode with that, but I know that from the wedding, the anniversary party where we furnished the liquor, I can't drink. It's still some in the cabinet. I don't want it no more.
And I think now, just with me being older, it's a lot of liquors I just cannot. My body won't let me do it no more because I think I'm just old now and I'm not gonna do it to myself. I still can't think, but yeah, happy Taco Tuesday.
I'm not old. My body is just mature. It got
I'm middle aged.
I'm not even middle aged. Okay. I don't
Right.
know what my age group
Middle
is.
aged.
Mhm. But happy end of Aquarius season as well. I had a real good time this year. And I feel like I saw so many Aquarius, like on the airplane,
Yes,
on
that's
the
what I said,
cruise. Like we were
bro.
out this year celebrating, even at
I said
IHOP.
that
Like,
today with my coworker. I said it seemed like when it turned Aquarius season, I was like, I don't know if I'm being biased. I said, but it's a lot of us. Like our parents was really doing a lot to have us.
somebody told me that yesterday. They was
Yeah,
like, I've been seeing a lot of Aquarius out. This girl I met on YouTube, she was like, I've been seeing a lot of Aquarius out. I don't know what parents was doing that time, but it's a lot of y'all. And I was
yeah.
like,
That's what we was trying to figure. I said maybe because the seasons was warming up at that time. I don't know. They was out there.
when did they have to get pregnant to have us
Probably
in
like May.
May? Okay.
So that's when it started to get warm and stuff.
And
Spring.
it's the end of the year, end of the school year. I don't know. Y'all was being fast though, but okay. Whatever. Y'all was
Happy,
been doing it. Well,
happy last
thank you.
day of Aquarius season, everyone.
It is, but I'm gonna celebrate the whole way through February because I feel like I should be able to. So
Yeah.
I am. I'm gonna celebrate to my sister's birthday because it's on February 28th, the last day of February. So I'm gonna celebrate until her birthday. That's what I'm gonna do. So let me tell you, did you see me and Ro watch this stinking short about this guy who came home to his home being the owners took everything out the house, destroyed all his stuff, did all of this stuff, but they was evicting the wrong person.
Mommy, I need to go potty.
How in the world
I need
do
to
you
go
make a
potty.
mistake like that?
Okay, nobody of
It was it a big apartment building, Ro?
It looked like it was a big apartment building. It shouldn't have been no small one. And if they made a mistake like that, that needs to be a very huge apartment complex for you to mess up.
Right.
Oh, see, in my Aquarius cup, I just thought about it. See, you know.
I love it. I love it. Yes. So y'all, when I tell you wiped the apartment out, destroyed all his stuff, and he was out of town and came back to everything being gone, and it wasn't for him. Can you imagine
I would own
coming
that.
home?
I would own that complex after that. Like that man, it couldn't have been nothing they could have said to me. Like I would own that complex.
Oh my gosh. How did you make that mistake? Oh my, like you didn't check before you went over there, like a final check. I don't know. Maybe it's just me coming from HR, but certain
No
things
way. It's
I
no
just
way.
double check and double check. I could have everything right, have looked at it. Like I like to do my stuff the day before, but even before I pull somebody in or do something, I would always be like, okay, this is this person. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, yeah, this is right. Okay, the law says this. Like, I would go over all of these things from being so anxious and making sure you don't want to make a mistake that could hurt somebody and the company. That's a big one because wait, scratch that. This is worse because you had to get somebody to go in the apartment. So you had to schedule it for whoever to come and get the stuff out the apartment.
I think they said the maintenance man just threw all the stuff out.
But don't you have to put in a service ticket for the maintenance people? Like
It probably
nowhere on there was it checked.
Yeah, they probably was just doing some stuff because you see, they said after that they still tried to they even though they tried to salvage his mattress and stuff and get his steam clean, which I would not have wanted when it had been
They put them
outside.
through that man's stuff and everything,
Yeah,
y'all. They
and
laid it out.
they said that I, you know me, I read through the comments, and they said
Okay.
that they end up trying to still evict him because they was like he wasn't a good tenant. It wouldn't even. If I
Of
was
course he was.
he wasn't a good tenant, and they found counterfeit money, which it was his daughter's money for Monopoly. They was doing anything after that. After that, they was doing anything. So they got him up out of there. You know, they could whatever said I don't remember, but everything is at will, so they can really put you out for anything. So they was like he had fake money and stuff, but still that was his daughter's fake money. Girl, I would sue the mess out of them. Like I would own that apartment complex and be able to buy more after that.
The interesting thing is that, and this is the last thing before we move over to Ruby D. even if you're at will, everything has rules. So you can do something at will if you still have to have a if, because then that would mean you could just randomly F up anybody's life, even employment at will. Somebody can't just come in and say, well, because at will we can let go of somebody, we're going to let go of you, especially not in California. You still have to have a valid reason to do that. That's why people start picking at you. At will is not really at will the way it sounds. It's not like you could just put somebody out. You really can't do those things. But if you don't know that and they convince you that that's the way it goes, then you walk away quietly. When you make noise, then they like, shit, now I got to make up something. Hence the counterfeit money. It's monopoly money. Hence he wasn't a good tenant. Why? Because he just went off on y'all now? Because y'all, it was people rummaging through his stuff. It was the mattresses wasn't covered. They was just put out. Well, for me, even if they was covered, once you took those mattresses out my house,
yeah, I would not have wanted it, and I wouldn't even have wanted to stay there. But some people don't have money to just get up and move and do all that. So I understand him having to stay, but believe me, that part that would have been mine after that.
Yes. So I can't wait to see what happens in this case, because that is absolutely asinine. So Ruby Dee, a fellow Soror, she is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Her and her husband are civil rights activists, and they are both entertainers. So when you see one of the clips that I'm going to play, you'll see who her husband is, and they were together until he passed. So let me play the first video, and then we will talk about why she is an amazing woman. Representation is everything. I love seeing. Here's the thing, though. Quick caveat. I love seeing Black women do things. I love seeing Black men do things. Then the second part of that is I love seeing women do things. And then I love to see good people doing things. I think I'm just a people person. But at the height, of course, I'm going to love to see Black women do things and Black little girls, because that's who I am. And it's nothing wrong with that. Even if you are a white person and you say, I love to see white people accomplish things, Asia, madam, I don't take that personal. Why wouldn't you? That's who you should be proud. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's only when pride, unfortunately, sometimes you guys, historically speaking, not allegedly, when you guys say such and such pride, you're hurting somebody else. You're not just being nice. So I saw that question earlier. How come y'all could say Black pride, brown pride, this and that? Well, because we're not hurting nobody when we do it. And it's inclusive, and you can still join in with us. So that's what I think. What do you think is like cringing to hear white power or white pride? Have you ever thought about that?
Girl.
No? Okay. So let's play this first. I'll
Don't
leave it alone. That's a very sensitive topic, and people want to choose their words carefully. So, in due fashion, even if we was in my living room, it's sometimes or me, or people be like, I don't really have nothing on that one yet. We'll pass. So, welcome to our homes. Grab a drink and let's get into the show. Here we go. Not today. StreamYard play too much. Can y'all write StreamYard for me and tell them that we don't have time for this? I'm so sorry. Here we go.
Black actress members of Delta Sigma Theta.
I always wanted you to be my baby. When you touch me, boy, you drive me crazy. I don't wanna be your secret lover, but when I get you, boy, there'll be no other. It's gotta be.
So, did y'all know that some of those people were Deltas, or did you not know any of them were Deltas? You didn't? Yeah.
So all of them are Deltas?
Mm-hmm.
No.
There are currently, the last number I remember hearing, and keep in mind we just did lines. We did lines of Sorors that just came out, but the last number that I heard was a little over 350,000 worldwide of us. But there are some Deltas that come in as They actually went through the entire process. And then there's some deltas that are honorary because of their amazing accomplishments and all of these things. But then they still go through a process as well. They don't just walk, well, for us. If you will notice with deltas, yes, shameless plug, a lot of the people that you see become honorary sorors for us, they hold significant roles like defense. They hold Senate seats. They hold their whole room in politics, and they're still out there fighting. So entertainment is great as well. You are trying to get your foot in the door, but I still believe in, while you're getting your foot in the door, while you're doing all the things you're doing in entertainment and have that platform, what are you doing with that platform? I feel like you should be doing something to give back, and that is my belief. So next video of Miss Ruby.
Ruby D, a name synonymous with elegance, grace, and unwavering strength. Born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1922, Ruby's passion for acting led her to break barriers in Hollywood. She captivated audiences with her powerful performances, portraying characters that shattered stereotypes and resonated deeply. Alongside her husband, the legendary Ossie Davis, Ruby formed a powerhouse couple, both on and off screen. They advocated for civil rights, using their platform to champion equality and social justice. Ruby's dedication to her craft and her commitment to social change earned her numerous accolades. From the NAACP Image Awards to the National Medal of Arts, her contributions were celebrated. Ruby D left an indelible mark on the world. Her legacy lives on, inspiring generations of actors and activists to fight for a better tomorrow.
You know what I found interesting? First, I didn't know that they were married. I recall seeing it a couple of times, but it didn't register really that they were married all of those years until he passed. And then I love that I love that all married couples that are Black represent their husbands well, and the husbands represent their wives well, and then they do great things together in prior generations. In these generations, I think that that's something that's lost. And I think that it's lost because of the actual topic that we're going to talk about tonight, which is being exposed and being doxed and all of those things. There were certain, if you will, there were certain things in media before that you could not talk about. It was not healthy. It wasn't classy. It wasn't appropriate. And there was still some values, right? So if it was something going on, perfect example, Natalie Cole, we love her. She's like the old school Brandy. Nothing about her that was bad, came out, did any of those things. Later, as an earlier adult, I was doing a report on something and found out that she was heavily on drugs. Unfortunately, all these things were happening. But not only her publicist, but her father, her family, they kept those things out of the media. So if it was an opportunity to buy the article from somebody that was going to sell it, they bought it. And then they got something done where it permanently kept her out of the light during that time. Number one, that's really important to your health. And then it's also important not to your image for yourself, although that plays a role, right? Your image for yourself contributes to your medical, your well-being, all of those things. You can really hurt somebody by putting their shit out. You can. And that's not for you to do. And then the second thing is, we've become so accustomed to saying somebody is fake, or when you love them because they have a podcast talking about relationships, they didn't say their relationship was like that, but they're talking about relationships. Then you put that person on a pedestal, and any mistake or thing that comes along, you immediately knock them down and say, I knew they were a fake. I knew they were a phony. I knew they were those things. Well, my only question is, didn't God say don't idolize somebody? That's number one. Number two, was what they said not true? It's still a value you can take. That's where all of the old sayings and old values, we're losing them. The take the meat and leave the bones, things like that. We have to get back to that, because if it's one thing somebody is going to do, if you allow them to, is they are going to let you down. But the question is, why did you rely so heavily on them when you should have relied on God? That's not their problem. That's your problem. You shouldn't be. It's not fair. What do you think is the difference in how our, well, now she's an ancestor, how our ancestors carried and conducted themselves despite what we know now they were going through in their homes? And then to know they did things like civil rights and fought outside and were still actresses, still mothers, wives. Like, how do you
I
feel
think
about how
that
they were versus us?
not all women, but I feel like they respected themselves more than a lot of women do nowadays. If they were doing things like how you said that she was on drugs and all that, you have to still keep in consideration it was no social media out, so it was easier for them to hide stuff rather than now, because you never know where you're gonna be at if somebody got their phone out recording. So I think that's why they were able to have a better, like a clean slate,
A better life.
yeah, because it wasn't no social media out. Let's keep Brandy. Let's say Brandy. Brandy, all her scandals and stuff, she was able to keep out of the light because her mom and them,
They got on top of it.
They was on top of it, but then like how when she got pregnant, they made it seem like, well, oh, she got married. Then we found out that she was never married or nothing like that. So I think but when that came out, social media was just really starting to pick up. So
great example.
So I think that that's the reason why they were able, but I do think that they carried themselves more like ladies back then compared to now. I think it's a very big difference from then to now, and I wish that women would get back to that. It's like, y'all don't care what, like, you don't even care now. You don't care how you look, how you present yourself, and then you be like, well, I'm not nobody's role model. Your kids shouldn't be following me or worshiping me, X, Y, and Z. But if it wasn't for those kids worshiping you, you wouldn't be who you were. And a lot of them say that once they get in trouble and people be like, oh, you a role model. Well, I didn't say that I was gonna be a role model. Like, they made me a role model. They shouldn't be looking up to me like that anyways. I'm human, which they are human, but
it is twofold. It depends on what your target market is. I think that I agree with you. I agree with them with that. Parents need to adjust what they allow their kids to do. Because let's take Sexy Red, for example, and I'm using her because somebody made a post and in it, deltas you never knew were deltas. And the first picture that they put up was Sexy Red. So I go through the comments.
Oh.
So I go through the comments and I look, and those that were deltas was saying, that's not appropriate. Stop saying this. Here's what I love the most. And my comment was, this is the most disrespectful shit you could have did. Or stuff. I didn't say shit. Because there is no, you tried to pit black woman against black woman and you're a black man. You knew that she's not a delta, but you put this up here and you put it first because you assumed that we were going to talk bad about her and say something like she's not deserving of or X, Y, and Z. First of all, that's never the case. That's not going to happen, but you are trash for putting this up. And he is. You did that assuming people would start talking about why she can't be a delta. She can apply just like anybody else. Why would you do that though? We know why you did it. And I think that was so mean. But to your point, if somebody wants to, if you notice that your children are listening to Sexy Red and things like that, why are you allowing it? We listen to Intro, Jodeci, all of that behind our mama's backs.
I was just about to say now, some kids probably do listen to Sexy Red behind their parents' back, because just will say, oh, mommy, you don't hear the word. It's dignified.
Come on.
Yes, mommy, it's dignified.
Little girl.
I will say, like, that will say Little Kim. That's an example. I know for a fact my mom wouldn't let me listen to Little Kim, but my mom didn't let us listen to, as she says, no devil music. So my sister would literally have to wait until my mom went to work, and as soon as she left out the house in that Astro van,
right,
it was on. We listened to Little Kim and all that. But so I can't just really blame it on the parents, because kids gonna do what they want to do anyways,
No,
it's just
only the ones that allow it. We are blaming
yeah.
it on the ones that allow. Hence me ending with, we listened to,
We snuck.
but we snuck and did it. So that, number one, that taught two things. It taught respect of your parents, and it taught that your parents were training and you knew that it wasn't exactly appropriate. So what did that teach you? That there's a time and a place to do something. These kids these days, they will cuss if you passing by, and not just regular cuss
Oh
words.
yeah.
I mean cuss like we don't even cuss. They will play those songs. That your parents will allow you to have a TikTok. Oh, they're just expressing themselves. That's great. But aren't you the parent? Train them up in the way that they should go, and you're the one that's supposed to tell them how things can go or should go. Why are you just allowing them to do whatever? And then to your point, you want to blame the artist. No, the artist is not the one that should be doing that. You're taking your kids to their concerts. The tickets say you should be over 18. But if you taking your kid, I cannot micromanage you. I can't do those things. So I agree with you. The big, huge difference is in one, what interesting, I don't know why all of these taglines of the Bible are coming to me, but maybe not coming to me, but that's kind of what I live by. Just because it's of the world and everybody's doing it doesn't mean that you do it. So when people say things like, well, you can't really keep the kids away from X, Y, and Z because that's what the kids is doing today. What's that got to do with your kids? Let them sneak like we used to sneak. That's always been the case, that it was you had some friend that could do things that you couldn't do, and you love when you could sneak and be around that friend. And if you talking, I can't hear you. But are you talking to us? I can't hear you. If you're going to do it in that household that allows you to do it. Still don't do it in yours. That's why these kids don't know what's right and wrong these days, which is
They
why.
get away with more stuff than
Girl,
than we were allowed to. I think parents are more lenient nowadays because
they're not
I've heard a
parenting.
lot of people say that they don't want their kids. They feel like our parents was too strict on us, and they don't want to be like that. A lot of people I know say that that's why they don't even whoop their kids, because they feel like our generation and beyond were the ones that got whoopings just all day long, and they don't want to do that. And I was like, I can understand some of the stuff, but I feel like that's why these kids are hellions now. Like, they don't have no respect for nobody or nothing because they don't get disciplined at all. Not saying that you have to whoop your kids, because I honestly
But you need
feel
to
like,
discipline. You use
yeah,
the right
you need
word.
to still discipline them, but
Mhm.
I still feel like that's why these kids are the way they are now, because there's no discipline. It's no discipline at all. It's no way that we wouldn't even fix our lips to talk sideways. Even if it wasn't cussing, it was certain words we knew we could not say.
We
And
couldn't say stupid in my household.
lie. We couldn't
We
say
could
lie. We couldn't
that
say
part.
none of that stuff. And
Mm.
these kids would just really talk crazy nowadays. So it's just different in the generation wise, as far as how kids are being raised now. Is different.
Well, for me, I personally feel like they're not being raised. I feel like a lot of points are being missed, and I feel like it's very sad. And the only person that's going to have to deal with that is that child, because when that child becomes 18, don't nobody give a damn what was going on in your home. When you go out into the world, those rules and things still exist. So while you can't
Mhm.
understand, well, I don't understand why I have to be on time. It was just 5 minutes late. Is it late or is it not? Either it is or it isn't. So now you don't understand simple things like that. And to come in and have a manager like me, I'm not going to tolerate it at all. I'm literally, if you come to me talking like that, the first thing I'm going to do is what's called manage you out. I don't want you on my team. I don't want you nowhere around me. You are now a liability to me, and I cannot allow, I'm going to get you out just as fast as I hired you. I don't want you around me because you have a problem to even fix your lips to say that to me. So it's not going to work. And you can't make me think that these things are okay. In addition to, let's keep it a buck. There are people that their parents went too far with whipping, but let's keep it a buck. If people really sat back and thought about it, we got told a lot of times we was going, you better get your ass in here before I beat the hell out of you. I've never had the hell beat out of me. Keep talking like that, I'm gonna slap your lips off your face. My lips are still on my face. I didn't even get slapped. They told us those things, but we were so afraid they would do them that they most
We never did them because we
like
thought
keep
that
it a
that was
buck.
really gonna happen. You
Keep it
say
a
that
buck.
to these kids nowadays, they gonna call the police on you.
That and our parents used to tell us, you can go ahead and call them. It's
Call
good.
them if you want to.
Call them if you want to,
We would
because
be scared to even
you'll be
call them
leaving,
when
not
they
me.
said, yeah, call them if you want to. We scared to still call them. Like,
Jesus. Now that's the real tea. But we still alive, okay? And we're alive
right,
and
we
well.
like to talk about it.
Right. Y'all can't do nothing. And we laugh at the shit. Most of the time we'll be laughing at our parents. We knew that they like meant business, but at a certain point you knew, okay, my mom not gonna hurt me. This is about being respectful. And it will hurt our feelings to disappoint them. These kids not even afraid to disappoint you, to embarrass themselves, to embarrass you, to not be successful in whatever it is that you want to do. I think it's sad, and I think that a lot of our ancestors are turning over in their grave. So back to Ruby D. Let me tell you contributions that she made to entertainment before we move to the main topic. So for entertainment, she made her debut in Broadway. Isn't that awesome? In 1946. That is crazy when you hear those years. And she did a play about World War II as a veteran. She did a groundbreaking film in 1950, and it gained national attention. She was one of them people. She played the wife of Jackie Robinson in the Jackie Robinson story. That's the same one. She played in Raisin in the Sun. And if you haven't seen that, you should see it. Some of these older movies y'all need to go back and look at. I think that if our younger kids could connect more to seeing, oh my gosh, this was real. Oh my gosh, this person really went through this just so I could live this way today. I think it will give you a greater connection and a greater understanding why there are some of us that's still in the back of our head talking to our ancestors and doing certain things and saying, I did this for you, and literally looking up in the sky like it's a different, deeper connection, because you feel like it's your responsibility to take the torch. It's much easier in our days than what they went through, and we could do little things to move the needle so forward. So I think that you guys should watch some of these movies and go back and look at some of these black and whites. And then she also had an appearance, the first black actress to have a reoccurring role on Peyton Place and Roots: The Next Generation. Roots is one of them movies or series that you have to be ready to watch.
I've never watched Roots. I have never watched Roots.
Girl, I have like twice. Once younger, our mom encouraged us to watch certain things. And certain things will really hurt my feelings, because I was like,
yeah, that's why I never watched it, because when I watch stuff like that, I get mad. Maybe I could watch it now, but I still gonna get mad. But a lot of stuff like that, that's why I won't watch it.
Yeah.
So maybe I still shouldn't watch it. Okay, go ahead.
That's like at the top of my list of one of those things where you watch it and it makes you even wonder, like, how did y'all even make it through doing this movie?
Yeah.
It's very well done. You what is that? Something Years a Slave? 12 Years a Slave? Did you see that?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I think
it's worse than that for me. That movie broke my whole soul. I was like, I'm gonna graduate, I'm gonna get another degree, and I'm gonna do something else better, because this is crazy and this was real. So the last one is in 2007. At the age of 83, she became the second oldest nominee for Best Supporting Actress in her role on American Gangster, which, by the way, they try to shade her and say she only got it because of all the other things she did and her age and all of this other stuff. No, she got it because she deserved it, and she was still very good actress at that age. Don't do us. Anyways, and then she has absolutely had, obviously, civil rights contributions. Her, alongside with her husband, they were both activists, and they worked closely with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and then more close with Malcolm X. She's a feisty little something. I could see that one. She had an NAACP Image Award and Lifetime Achievement Awards for her work. And then last, a legacy of arts and activism, even in her later years. So she fought for social justice from a young age to an older age, and co-founded organizations like Coalition for the Homeless and using her platform to promote equality in arts because it's still not there the way that it should be. So while you're walking through doors, just know that somebody else had to bite the handle off with their teeth. Still today. Okay? You came through the internet. They walked through a door. There's a difference. Pay homage. So let's see here. The topic. Do y'all know what doxing is? Do you know what doxing is?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that's the term that they use for it, but I know what it is. But I didn't know that was the term they use for it now.
What is it?
How can I explain it?
In layman's terms.
Look, I'm like, how can
It's a layman's term. So
just let them see the look, I'm like, just let them see the video.
So it is basically, or not even basically, it is when you take somebody's personal information and you put it out on the internet, specifically when you have a large platform, and it's with malicious intent. So
Well, is it like basically bullying? To me, it's kind of like cyberbullying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cyberbullying. Yeah, I was just trying to think of another way. I'm like, it is bullying. I didn't know that's what they called it though, doxing. So
it is a legal term for it. So while doxing is not necessarily illegal in certain states, it is now being rolled out to be illegal in certain states. The implications of it, the intent behind it, and all of those other things can be, because there are people that say, well, it was public information anyway. Yeah, but you went and searched for it. You found it,
put it out there,
and then you brought it to this
intent. Yeah, so
absolutely
cyberbullying. It's cyberbullying.
Absolutely. So like when I think it was Nicki Minaj put out the address to where Megan Thee Stallion's grandmother and mother was buried, and an influx of people showed up there to disrespect those women's graves. She could have gotten in a lot of trouble for that had Megan decided to do that and take that direction, which I don't know if I wouldn't have or if I would for my mama.
I'm surprised Megan does. She an Aquarius. I'm surprised because I would have been standing on business. I wouldn't have stopped. My mom and my grandma's grave, like, girl, it wouldn't have been nothing that could have stopped me from that.
That was so ignorant and classless.
Very ignorant.
Why?
That's when I start feeling like, okay, Nicki Minaj is a bully and she's just doing too much now. Like, I disliked her a lot after that.
Just like another thing that she did, unfortunately, I'm using her because she's the one who did a couple of big things that I can remember that immediately hearing them, it made my stomach hurt. Like the one about the grades one, that one made me actually cry. Like, why would you do that to somebody? I don't care what kind of internet beef y'all got. Why would you?
And you
do
supposed
that?
to be the queen. You supposed to be the queen. Why
Queens don't act like that.
That's supposed to be beneath you.
Sure, I couldn't believe it. And then the second one that she did is, I remember seeing a video. Sorry, y'all, my allergies. I'm inclined to believe I'm allergic to 1800 because notice I was fine. Now that I can feel the drink a little bit, I think I'm allergic. And I actually put my allergy pills right here just in case. I think I'm allergic. Anyway, y'all.
Quit drinking it.
See, I can't make this up. Nose all red. I look like Rudolph. Anyway, welcome to my home. Bring me something different then. I like 1800. But the case, shut up, twin. The case that I can't stand you. Oh, every time. Just a hater of what brings me joy.
Right.
So y'all remember, or you may not know of, the case that Nicki Minaj, now husband, was going through with a woman that he was accused of.
Oh yeah.
SA. Okay. Found guilty, all of these things. Nicki went ahead and stayed with him. Okay. The girl, they doxed her address. That baby had to move. She already scared because her essay included a weapon. It was done at knife point. This man now gets with somebody who's a really big celebrity. So you still have to have the courage to go through with this because you already started it. And now this girl living her regular life. Y'all not, it's not like you paying her. She coming for you for money. She's going public. She's doing, somebody else put the business out.
I was just about to say, she didn't even put it out. Somebody else did.
She didn't even put it out, y'all. And then like Nikki went on a rampage. Like she did all of these things. So people were showing up this baby's house. People were showing up at her job. She worked a regular job, just like a regular person.
Them barbs ain't no joke. Like
They
them
are
little barbs ain't no joke. And for you to be that big, you that big, and you
with
got
a little girl.
Yeah.
You have a little girl. Why you would even think to do something like that is crazy. And so now that I'm seeing a lot more of people exposing people and doing that, I do want to talk about doxing. And then the last thing that we're going to end with is the exposing of people, because I think that it has really gotten out of hand. And for me, my character, I haven't exposed people when I should have, when it would benefit me. Meaning, this person goes and tells a whole story. People believe some of that story, and I will not defend myself if it meant that I had to tell something that was what I felt extremely, extremely important that they told me while we were friends. I get it. I have all rights to, right? I have all rights to say that amongst people. But sometimes the way that I would feel is if somebody told Ro that I did something to her, or she felt like I did something to her with our relationship, and Rose did not come to me, automatically I'm not giving you shit. Because now at that point, I'm not looking at it like defending myself. Now I'm looking at it like, bitch, how the fuck you believe this shit and you supposed to be my person? So at the bare minimum, you should have came like, dang, I don't know, this sound kind of believable, but you still want to talk to me. So the way that my brain works is a little bit different. I don't feel the need to expose you or tell my side, because I feel like as this person I built this relationship with, I shouldn't have to. Like, what was the point of building your building a relationship with somebody or whatever? And if they hear something, they just gonna believe it and not even tell you. When would you gonna have my back? So I'm a little bit different. There are some people that expose people, and I think it's crazy. So let's listen to a video on doxing real quick so you can find out how your ass is gonna go to jail messing with people. Stop doing this shit. These people got kids and whatnot. It's not cool. They get hurt, it's gonna be on you.
Is it illegal to dox someone? It depends. Doxing comes from the hacker community, where it refers to dropping documents about someone. More recently, it means going online to find personal information about a person and publishing it. That information for the general public to see without that person's consent. The doxer usually does it with the intention of bringing negative public attention to or to intimidate the doxee. So is doxing illegal? Finding and republishing publicly available information online is not a crime. However, if you use that information to intimidate, stalk, bully, taunt, or harass, you could run into laws that prevent cyberbullying and harassment.
It's gonna be a lot of lawsuits. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of lawsuits. Just think that's what a lot of people's whole get down is.
They're going viral for doing it.
Let's think. Who y'all think? Just think. I'm me thinking out loud right now. Who is somebody that's really big right now that does this all the time, and they are the biggest bully in the world, and it's a man.
50.
Yep.
I already know off top, and I done stopped following him because I think he a part of the Antichrist.
I'm like, man, he is such a bully. Like, I just don't get it. I was like, he needs to go to therapy. He really needs to go to therapy. I was like, he is such a bully. It doesn't even make sense. All the way down to Irv Gotti. Like, this man is resting in peace. Even if you feel like this man has done wrong to you or something, he's still
resting. It's over now.
Like, it's over. You still alive and able to see another day. Like, I didn't even know the reason why he disliked Irv Gotti was so much is when he got shot those 9 times. They said Irv Gotti's one of his close friends did it. But I didn't know that.
But that's an assumption. Is it real?
Exactly.
Because I'm not gonna hate somebody on assumptions. Like, I'm not doing
but
that.
still, it's like this man is gone now. Like, you still going. Like, it just don't matter. But he's like the biggest bully in the world to me.
He
Well, in
is.
the industry, he's
Women, children.
It don't matter. It
He
don't
don't
matter.
do it.
So let's see how many people have lawsuits against him. He even did it to his own baby mama. Like,
he did it to that girl, Stormy or whatever. He did it to her. Ended up having to pay her $5 million because he did.
Rick Ross baby mama.
Yeah, when he put out the tape.
Yeah, just think. That's what I'm saying. He did it to his own baby mama. He did it to his own baby mama.
Sure did, and was even going back and forth at the first beginning of this Diddy stuff. He
was saying calling her an S worker and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't. So it's like nobody is off limits.
No, but just so you guys know, you can say whatever you want to say. It's freedom of speech. Here's where you guys need to learn the meaning of words. Here's the meaning of words. I'm not gonna do that. When my employees tell me they're not gonna do something, I say, okay. Why? Because I can't make you. All I can do is enforce the consequences. So if you don't do it, and you should, I'm going to write you the fuck up. I'm not arguing with you.
Right.
I don't argue with people. Should I do that? I don't use words like should. I use words like you will. It's your responsibility to. You guys can have freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. You write. This is my platform. That you don't pay for, that you don't own, that you don't even know all the regulations to. So it's not your platform, because at a button, they could take it away. Yanti Tia done had about 67 of them. She got a new one again. You cannot do whatever you want to do, but y'all go off.
But some people do. Tasha K.
She never doxed nobody.
You don't think so?
No, she don't play with that. She's never doxed anybody. She absolutely dislikes it a whole lot. She doesn't put anybody.
No, she doxed Cardi B. That's why she had to pay her.
That's not why she had to pay her.
Well, she said she put that stuff out about her having a disease and all that stuff, and that's still to me doxing. And it wasn't true.
So
Cardi B said that wasn't true. So
here's the thing. If that is true, so that's the reason why she got in trouble, is because here's the thing about doxing. If is information like that, right? If you're a celebrity, we can use a celebrity because that was the example given. If you're a celebrity and you're out here with the possibility of sleeping with all of these people, but it's found out that you have AIDS, meaning Asia told you, hey, this person gave it to me. Then if you put it out and it's true, it's cold, but unfortunately that's not doxing, because I'm saving all these other people from getting it. So has she not ran her mouth the way that she did, in the belief that, well, this person gave this to me? It's very hard as a reporter, and we're finding out things. Pay attention to what other people go through, because she's saying that now. Because if she would have just apologized to Cardi B, it wouldn't have happened. But she kept going because her attorneys kept telling her, you actually had a right. So it wasn't that she didn't have the right to put that out, because she did, because somebody brought it to her. They had the proof. It was validated. So as a reporter, HR, all of that, I can only do my due diligence. I can only make sure that what this person shows me, they show me, and I believe that it's credible. If it turns out that it is not credible, then it is my responsibility to do what they call a retraction, take it down, apologize, do all of those things. She wasn't doing any of those things.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right. So that's why doxing itself is not illegal, but all the stems that it can go to, you gonna hit one of them. And with cyberbullying being the ultimate one, or Peach McIntyre, she was doxed 3 days after she moved into her place. They posted her floor plan, how much she paid for her rent, all of these things. She got 7 kids and was pregnant with twins at the time. Now she got to move. She got to do all of these things. If it causes a financial hardship, threatens a family in any way, people call CPS on this girl. So she was having to go back and forth with CPS, and she doesn't do anything to her kids, but they just didn't like her. And so they did it. if she wants to, she can file charges on that person that doxed her address. And people is getting so bold with it because they want the clout and being able to go viral for it, that they actually tag it and own it, and they want to be the first.
That's what the problem is now. Everybody wants to go viral. They want to have a viral moment, so they don't care what they do to go viral. And it's sickening. Like, y'all want that 15 minutes of fame. Like, just, ugh.
I think it's crazy. And it's interesting that you can't say, well, I just reposted it. If you knew or should have known that it wasn't true, then it becomes your responsibility to take it down. So it backs to the first person, but everybody else that did it as well, if you don't fix what you did, right? If you put out the address of a pedophile, that's not doxing.
I was about to say, that's on Megan's Law. Hell.
But
we should be able to repost
remember, you can't just post something because it is public information. If you post it and say, hey guys, this person is in our neighborhood and they did not come around and let us know, they did not follow these things that they were supposed to do, and we have a heavy amount of children between this age and this age, you get what I'm saying? How you position, what your intent was. Right. Okay. Like if somebody would have dug up Megan's grandma or mom, do you know how much trouble Nikki would have been in? If the girl would have actually gotten hurt that you doxed her address, you would be responsible for every single thing that happened to that girl. That's why I just don't think you should do it, even if it's somebody small. Why would you do that? Because you never know what's going on in their life. And what if something happens to that person? Now they're going to blame it on you. Keep telling y'all. We know somebody that got 72 years and all he did was send somebody to pick something up, and he got blamed he got more time than what the people did. 72 years?
Yeah, that's
he didn't do anything. He really didn't.
Did the person get unalived or something?
For the person that got the 72 years?
Yeah.
You know the person. Yes, the person was unalive. Mm-hmm. You know the person. You do. Okay. So but glory to God, they're home now.
Oh, okay. Look.
Glory to God, they are home now. Because some laws just are not fair. They're really not. And they're insane. Like that was insane. The point is, who wants to spend, even if it is something like that, where you get an excessive amount of time, why would you want to spend any amount of time in there because you thought you was doing something by putting out somebody's address or phone number or I can't see 73. Oh no, not that one. I saw it. I'm not gonna put it up. Right. But what was I saying? Yes, be careful. Doxing people is not cool. So you wanting to show you have this power and it's because you don't like me. I'm just gonna put out all your information. How would you feel if that was you? How would you feel if that person unalived themselves? How would you feel if that person's children now have PTSD? If y'all had to face the people y'all do some of this to, I don't believe you would do it, because I can't imagine being okay with hurting a child or an innocent person. We could pop our shit back and forth, but I've never desired to hurt somebody in that way. I haven't. So let's watch another clip about doxing. Actually, here's a funny thing. I don't remember this last two. Let's see.
Doxing versus DDoSing are two very different things, but a lot of people seem to get them mixed up. Doxing is when you publicly reveal private information about somebody, and this can be anything from their credit card information, their address, who their kids are, their social security number, very dangerous stuff. Is doxing illegal? Not always. It really depends on where you live, but once you start exposing like credit card information and social security numbers, then it becomes illegal. And even if you didn't do that, it could be seen as bullying and harassment, which is also illegal. The really dangerous part about this though is when it leads to swatting, and at that part it becomes a federal crime and it could get the person killed. DDoSing is a totally different thing. But essentially it's an attack where you overwhelm like a service, a website, somebody's internet connection with like an overwhelming amount of internet traffic. Eventually it gets to a point where it no longer works anymore. Think of it kind of like a highway. There's so much fake traffic coming in that any real traffic doesn't have any room to enter. DDoSing is not uncommon and it's very easy to do, but it could be classified as a federal crime. Which is crazy because all a person needs to DDoS you is a website and your IP address and you're done. Follow for more.
So with that second part, what that's talking about is, you know how somebody will say, oh my gosh, I had a bad experience when I bought this cup from Madam. I'm a small business owner. My stuff is real small, right? My website is real small. Melon and Madam, real small. But they say, go over there and leave comments and tell them how bad their service is. But
yeah.
and they go over there and influx it and basically cause technical problems, shut it down, and prevent them from getting orders.
Yeah, they good for that now.
They're good for that. And that's not right either. You have the bad service. Why are you telling your 10,000, 10 million to go over there and do that? And they're lying. They're not telling the truth. They didn't have that bad experience. You have that bad experience. So you write the review. I don't care if you decide you want to write it every day. But by doing that, you also can be in trouble. And y'all being so bold with the shit, y'all going live saying, yep, I did it. Yes, I said, okay.
Girl.
People are evil. And what makes me mad the most is I don't believe that they would, one, do this in people's face because they're too scary. Two, they wouldn't do it in people's face. And here's the biggest reason why I don't think you would do it in their face. It has nothing to do with being the baddest, the boldest, and none of that. It has everything to do with seeing the results of how you hurt somebody based on your behavior. You can't make me believe that you would be okay. Even if somebody slept with your husband, you can't make me believe that you would be okay walking into that mistress's house and seeing a gunshot wound in their child or something like that because of what you did. And it's not that serious. It's just not when it comes to what could all happen or that person even unaliving themselves. I just don't think that is worth it. And I think that people not going to get it until they make an example out of somebody that you know about. And then you're going to be like, well, I didn't even know it was all of that. Well, that don't make no sense. Well, because you know, y'all generation. And people that actually not this era. How about this era? Because it includes all the knuckleheads from every age group have reverted back to, well, it didn't happen to this person. And so does that make what you did right? If 32 people speed and you get pulled over, do you think the police is going to say, you can tell the police, well, yeah, I was doing 100, but they was doing 100 too, and you only pulled me over. What does that have to do with what you did right? And your consequence? It has nothing to do with it. So I don't understand. Oh, Jesus, y'all, my nose. It is itching so bad. Shut up, Rose. I'm
telling you, stop drinking that mess.
Oh my God. I like it though. Y'all, this is the only one that doesn't make me sick, doesn't give me hangover, and I could just have one shot inside my drink and I'm straight. But immediately my nose started itching. When we came on, I was fine. Now I look like Rudolph. But it still tastes good. So, what do you feel like in our last 10 minutes? Is there ever a situation that you feel like it's okay to expose an ex-friend? I mean, a real friend, like that y'all have shared information about how your ovaries work and y'all fall out and then you just
no, I feel like if they did something scandalous, it'll come out. I don't really have to do all that stuff. It's just like, for what? Maybe when I was younger, I probably would, but me this age, it ain't even that serious. Like, bitch, go ahead and do what you gonna do, because that karma gonna bend the block on your ass. And sometimes I just be hoping I can see how the karma hit them, but
right. No, I ain't gonna lie. I do be thinking.
I wanted to see that. Like, yeah, let me see how karma gonna hit them. But other than that, I really don't even care because I already know that it's gonna come back. That karma gonna come back on you. You don't
God
gotta
don't
do
play
nothing.
about me. Mm-mm.
Yeah, like you don't have to do nothing. Like when a person do you wrong or whatever, you just sit back and wait. You don't have to do nothing no more. Now you can cuss them out and call them all kind of bees and all.
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
but you don't gotta expose them at all.
I don't agree with exposing because that word has gotten a different connotation.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason why I was thinking about this is because oh my God, what's that live show? Table Talk? No. The talk with the shit. The podcast people podcast, hold on, exposes Keita. One of the people's name is Keita. Tonight's, oh, yep, there it is. Tonight's, hold on, y'all. It's coming up, and of course, my internet is moving slow. But there is a podcast that all of us listen to a lot. And they have really good topics, and they talk about being in relationships and how you should be in relationships and the different things that you can do, right? Well, now, because people didn't get what they want off of that podcast, there was a girl that was put off of the podcast, and now she's exposing all of the secrets to include messing with men, being in business with that guy Derek, who was lying about his that always did the car videos, and his wife, he was really cheating on her, and he came in and made her sit next to him and tell her that she was okay and she knew and all of this other stuff. You remember Derek?
I never watched that.
You did. You know Derek. He used to be on Facebook all the time, and he would do videos like, ladies, if your man do this, he's not a good.
Oh, okay. And then
Yes.
the wife came on there and was casting
Yes.
on people.
Yes.
Okay.
So they actually did business together, and it's tonight's conversation. I even have the cards for tonight's conversation. So anyway, once she gets put off of the show, she comes back. Look, that's a damn shame. The cards is right here. If I would have had them, I would have thought about that. But tonight's conversation. So anyway, which by the way, they're saying that Ace, the owner of this podcast, stole even that idea. So my point is, you knew that he did certain things and you were okay as long as he was going to help take your business to the next level and do all of these things. Then you were capable of kind of turning a blind eye to certain things or certain things that you knew to a degree. But now that he's done all these things and you're greatly impacted, now you're literally doing tell-alls, and you ran straight to the internet. Now, while I agree that you have the right to do that because you can't hit somebody and then tell them how to fight back, I'm okay with that. But I think that even in exposing people, the amount of information that you share and what you share can sometimes impact how I look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to share that your ex is your ex. If he's your ex and the reason why you broke up with him is because he left and went with somebody else, then it needs to be around that. It needs to be around what happened in a relationship. If you know that before he got with you in college, he messed with men and nobody ever knew, and that's something that he intimately shared with you that has nothing to do with him leaving and going to be with somebody else. So why are you telling that? If you know he had a scare about having AIDS, if you know that he got a child, it has nothing. You was okay with all of that and you move forward. So why are you including that in your exposing session? Like, I don't agree with that part. Why do you have to tell all of somebody's business when you call yourself exposing them for something that they did to you?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing if you guys pay attention. I said the same shit was Cassie because, sorry, you was okay with some of the shit until you wasn't okay with it. Karma is motherfucker. It is. And it will come back on you. So it's the hardest thing to do. Trust me, it is hard. But even in your anger, your desire to have revenge, your desire to have that person hurt as much as you, if you create your own karma because you did something wrong, that shit gonna spin the block on you too. So it's just gonna come back. So don't do it. And you need to have people around you that will encourage you not to do certain things, because it be them hype people sometimes. You go and
Yeah,
talk to
it
them.
takes a lot for you. Well, I know for me, sometimes I have to cool down because I'll be ready to have like, oh
Yeah,
no, you to me,
that's normal.
you did XYZ to me, this is about to happen to you. Then I have to cool down and think logical, like Rashonda. Then I'll be like, that's all right, bitch, because karma goes being a block on your ass. And I just hope I'm here to see. But it's like I have to cool down because me, I be wanting like blood when I get real mad. Like
I do. Even if I'm not real bad, I'm one of those people. I've grown a lot. I don't throw
I
rocks
have
in my
grown a lot.
hands. I want to sign my shit, which is why I never did anything like bust out a window, flatten a tire. I don't have no what is that called? Where um oh, I can't think of the term. Like the pages that people have, but it's not their name. They use it to do other stuff. What the hell is that?
Hell,
Fake page. I don't have fake
look,
pages.
me neither.
I don't have none of that, because when it comes, I want you to know that I did it. I want to sign it myself, because number one, I ain't no punk. And number two, what good is it if you don't know that I'm the one that did it? I need you to know that I'm the one that came. I did that. How about that? If I'm going to expose you, here's how I'm going to expose you. When you come to me and talk to me, if I'm that mad, which is why, maybe that's why a lot of people, anyway, if you come to me, I'm not going to be the one to say, oh, it's okay, I forgive you. Do I forgive people? I do. But in this season, I'm going to say, I forgive you, but
But
what you
I'm
did
not
hurt me,
fucking with you
because,
no more.
or what you did was wrong. I'm going to recap what the fuck you did, because what you did actually matters. I need you to know that I'm not stupid, and I need you to know that I know everything that you did. And here's the part though. This is the part that I've been battling with. I'm not including something that somebody else told me, because their loyalty to me and their trust with me with telling me something. I'm not telling. Either you did it or you didn't. I'm gonna present you with the information. If you did it, you did it. If you didn't, you didn't. But a part of that conversation is going to have to be a real authentic conversation. It's going to be, no, I know that you had this conversation behind my back. And if you can't tell me why you had a conversation behind my back when me and you was closer to the people you sat with, then I need to understand why. If you can't have that level of conversation with me, it's no need to talk to me, because we're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss it. Otherwise, how can you? And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you if I did some shit to irritate the fuck out of you during the time I was waiting for you to talk to me, because that's probably where my worst problems are. Why? That's my new thing. If I know you did some shit, I'm going to be overly nice. I'm going to wait. Every time you post something about that type of person that I know you are, I'm not going to like it. I'm going to heart it. I'm going to make your conscience get on your nerves. That's what I'm going to do. Anywho, but I'm not going to expose you. My level of exposing in love should be between the people that it includes, because it's supposed to be used to either move the needle forward or to close a chapter out and get everything out there. But what good does it really do to be to external people that it's none of their business?
Right.
They're not going to do anything for them. And now, especially in entertainment, y'all be messing shit up, because now people don't want to deal with you, because they thinking, oh, if some shit go bad or this person don't get their way, they're gonna tell. Why do y'all tell all your business anyway? Do you know it's not much I tell that if it actually got out that I wouldn't say, oh, okay. Interesting. Any closing remarks from you, Rose? How often do you expose people?
I don't think I do.
You don't. I wanted you to real bad.
And I just was like, karma going to be in the block.
No, I wanted you to real bad. I want names, pictures, diagrams, and PowerPoints.
I know. A
But
lot
you
of people
didn't.
did.
Whatever. Okay. Well, that's tonight's conversation. Ha! No pun intended. That show is done. Them people was crazy. I'm just amazed at, we lead very boring lives. When you hear about some of this shit other people got going on, I'd be like, nobody would probably want to work with me because I don't have nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't have anything that's worth exposing. I really don't. Not that I'm a goody two shoes. Maybe I'm boring. I don't know. I don't have
And I think the stuff that is you can't expose because I done already said it. Like,
the people that matter. No.
yeah, like it's nothing to expose.
Mm-mm. But I would never in my life dox anybody. And some of y'all gonna start losing your jobs, and you're gonna start losing brand deals because that has started happening. That's my closing remark. I watched somebody's thing, and they was doing a brand deal with a company, and during this brand deal, they started going back and forth with somebody, and that got mentioned, and some other things got mentioned, and they received an email the next day like, hey, what's going on the internet between you and this person? Because a certain amount of entertainment and going back and forth, that's within entertainment. That's okay. It's not hurting anybody. You said you didn't like something like that. But when you start hitting below the belt or doing things that you wouldn't do some of y'all would do it in the church house. Well, you
Right.
wouldn't. Can't even use that. Well, they got an email that said, hey, what's going on? Clear this up before X, Y, and Z. And they had to clear it. Oh, I was just kidding. Oh no, we had set this up as a joke, but we was just going break the internet with this or whatever like that. And it was like, yeah, that's not appropriate. This deal can't happen if that happens. And they cleaned it up. Y'all gonna start paying attention. This economy is gonna be very different. That shit ain't funny. But that is it from us. You can catch us tomorrow. I think Rose, where can you catch us tomorrow?
On Talk to Rose at 8:00.
Perfect. And then you can catch us back here on Thursday for live with myself. So I will see you on tomorrow and on Thursday. Have a good night. Subscribe, share, like, all that stuff. Good night. Thank you for joining.